Something has stuck with me from a video I watched within the last week, a conversation between Eckhart Tolle and Cesar Millan, who was also known as the dog whisperer. And one of the things Cesar Millan said was that, unlike humans, animals are always seeking balance. That is what they're always after. And that phrase has really stayed with me since I saw that. And I have a cat that I like to observe and learn from, because I think animals are free of ego. And when we can just allow our pets to be, as opposed to try to force them into different situations because of our own human desires, allowing them to be, letting them come to us instead of moving them around or whatever, as best we can resist the temptation to let pets serve our own ego needs, they can become incredibly sane teachers. And because they're a source of unconditional love, they don't have a lot of blockage that other humans have, and so we can have more direct experience of love with them. It's tempting to kind of get them out of balance, but if we just let them be and seek their own balance, let them sleep when they're sleeping, feed them when they're hungry, and just allow them to be just themselves, then we can learn from that. There's a Buddhist phrase about when you're hungry, eat, and when you're tired, sleep. And I think that's where we can learn from animals, because that's what they practice. Cesar Millan was talking about how humans have all kinds of other goals other than balance. But I think for those of us who have not found a lot of reward in just imitating how people live in the socialized world, balance becomes more appealing. And the ego says, balance, that's boring. Who wants that? I want excitement, I want adventure. I want lots and lots of stimulation. But especially if you are an intuitive, empathic, sensitive individual, you're not going to need a lot of stimulation to feel alive. You already feel a lot, and so just being yourself and being congruent and returning to a balanced life, getting to that more basic animal-like simplicity of paying attention to what is out of balance, what needs attention, and then giving that attention. And a lot of times we may have a resistance to the things that are dull. For example, yesterday I had this intuition when I awoke that I could put my YouTube channel's name, UnificationDotCom, as the first word in my tags of all 300 plus videos. And I didn't really want to do that, and I wasn't even sure if it would be helpful. The idea was that it would make my other videos come up over in the that side. I don't know if I nodded in the right direction, but and the right side of your screen, make other videos of mine come up if I did that. But I knew it would take maybe 2 or 3 hours, and I felt resistance. But that was the first thing I decided to do, instead of things that were more enjoyable and less monotonous, because that's what I find helps me attain balance in my life, is to get the mundane things out of the way first, get the dull things or difficult things or whatever, get them done first, and not have them lingering in the back of my mind. And so even though there's a resistance to the things that can bring balance in life, another example is right before doing this video, I was in the shower and I noticed the water level was rising a little bit, and in the past I've always let it get to the point where it's obnoxiously high and doesn't drain very fast at all and so forth. So I thought, this time I'm going to catch it early. And so I took a plunger to it after my shower, and it freed itself up and was flowing nicely, much easier than before. And I thought, that's a good metaphor for what I'm about to talk about regarding balance. If we catch things earlier, they're easier to fix. If we don't ignore or suppress what we know, then we can just maintain balance. And the way to tune in to what needs attention is, what is creating stress in your life? Is it money? Is your home a mess? Is there a relationship that's needing attending to? Any kind of issues that you've been ignoring? These are the things that require your attention, and then will get life back into balance. And sometimes the simplest things, like you need to get some supplies that are lacking, and you don't want to deal with that. So when you deal with something simple like that, then all of a sudden you feel better because you have access to what you need. So given what your values are, if you like good relationships, living in a environment that you find nourishing, nurturing, and having enough money to take care of yourself, these values will guide you to what needs your attention and what will bring balance into your life. So I think that animals, the way that they can teach us the most is by seeing that they don't preoccupy themselves with mental rumination. They're free of that. And so I think that if we focus more on bringing balance into our own lives, then we'll have less mental turmoil. Because a lot of times what we feel as tension or difficulty is our mind-body system telling us something needs attention and we're not giving it attention. So if we deal with what needs dealing with and we keep things simply in balance, then we have more energy that's freed up for the enjoyable things in life. Life does not become boring when your life is in balance. Your ego may convince you that it would be, but it just gives you more freed energy to enjoy the good things about being alive if you have the fundamentals in balance. Thanks for listening.